Came across a great piece on ESPN FC. Didn't think I was going to say that anytime soon, but nonetheless, there's something I wanted to discuss here. It's the starting 11 of the players fans love to hate. So I'm going to take you through this kind of as the teams pan out, and I'll give my brief insight as to why I think these specific players have made the starting 11. So let's run it through from the graphics. So if you look in goals, Joe Hart. Now, I get it, right? Joe Hart is at times a little temperamental, at times makes the odd error, but I think there's plenty of other candidates out there. I mean, got enough of what just happened in Brazil with the goalkeeper who murdered his wife or girlfriend at the time and is now just been relocated to another team after serving, 3 years of his sentence. Pretty sure people would love to hate that guy. I think he might be in goals. But nonetheless, the back line, Rojo, Pepe, Ramos. So two of those immediately. Pepe and Ramos, just put them in your back four, your back three, whatever, for the most hated. Like, doesn't mean anything to do with their performance. In fact, it's the fact is that they're that good. But also Pepe's ruffled some feathers in the past. Ramos notoriously will get sent off now and again, but also scored that daggering game-winning or game-tying header to just sink you into an area of just disarray and despair. I think Atletico Madrid fans can attest to that. Rojo, I don't really understand. I mean, I'm thinking of, I could even put Gil Clichy in there. People don't like Gil Clichy because of his move to Arsenal. There's big John Terry. People love to hate John Terry. I think he's a better example. But the midfield, there is no question, 3 out of these 4 people. Ander Herrera, I don't really understand either. I guess people don't really like him because of the way he acts at times. But I personally don't have a problem with him. Joey Barton, absolutely. Despise. Just despise. This is a guy that I think put a cigarette butt out on a youth player before. I think that he has been caught up in many, obviously, scandals outside the park. But also on the field, he's done some pretty despicable things. And he's always got an opinion. He said Neymar was overrated. He said Kante was overrated. You need to be rated to be overrated. And I guess you're never overrated because you are rarely rated. And of course, he played for Glasgow Rangers for a whole 4 minutes. So he definitely makes the list. Busquets, it's obvious. He's a phenomenal player. So immediately people will not like him for that. And he's on arguably one of the best teams of all time. But he also dives. And he also play acts. And he also is crucial to the mechanical, I would say, running of Barcelona. So all these things put together just makes people hate him. Nigel de Jong, whatever you want to say, is just a hatchet, man. He's like Vinnie Jones. Vinnie Jones could be on that as well. Just runs around volleying people. I think this is taken into account relatively new players as of players that are still playing, so I don't think Vinnie Jones could be considered there. But yeah, de Jong does that. And in the front 3, I think it is an absolute catastrophe. And Jason, the voice of Jason will be in this room somewhere, that Mario Balotelli is not on a list of players fans love to hate. Like Jamie Vardy, as of recent, yes, I get it. I mean, he did a little bit of play acting with Samir Nasri. He's got that kind of look to him that just makes you think that he's like that English guy that you meet in a holiday in Magaluf. If fans in the UK will understand that, or Ibiza, or even Vegas here, let's for instance, that are just always hammered, always loud, always obnoxious. He gets that aura about him. But no way does he get ahead of Balotelli. Like Balotelli, we love him for a lot of things that he does, but there's also a lot of people that hate him for a lot of things that he does. So it's a love-hate relationship here. These players, they wouldn't be the players they are today, I don't think, without that aura about them and the fact that they are able so easily to go to love to hate. Depends if you have them on your team, you love them. How many Chelsea fans of that love Diego Costa? But if you're playing against Diego Costa or you're on the opposing team, he is getting a barrage of abuse directed towards him. Luis Suarez is a given. The biter, the diver, the racist at times from what happened between him and Patrice Evra, and then the fact that he never apologised for it afterwards. No, he's a phenomenal player. You never deny that, but his actions have been questionable throughout his past. I mean, he's bitten 3 different players. That just is not forgotten, I'm afraid, as much as many people will like to say it. He's always going to be on the list of people that players love to hate. As far as, there's a couple other mentions that could be put in there. Players that immediately, like, I think that it's a fine line because players can be hated for being so good Cristiano Ronaldo. Easily, people will love to hate Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, love to hate him doesn't kind of differ from the fact that he's not that much of a hateable player in relation to some of these guys. I mean, there's only 11 spots in this team. So Cristiano Ronaldo, as much as he does things that people don't like, he's very cocky, takes his shirt off when he scores, flexes. It's more just jealousy than hate, I would say, in my opinion, for that. So I think it's fair to say that if I was to decipher between my front three of the players that people love to hate, I would go Costa, Suarez and Balotelli. I wouldn't find room for Cristiano Ronaldo. And I'm sure there's some else out there. I mean, in the past, Marco Materazzi was always someone that liked to ruffle feathers. Zidane, probably people love to hate him after what happened between France and Italy. As we remember, Roy Keane, Patrick Vieira, plenty of examples in there that people love to hate. But a lot of them have the same thing in common, as a lot of them are quality players, minus Joey Barton and Rojo, I would say, in De Jong, maybe, at some point. But most of them are very good, and that's partly the reason why people love to hate them. So let us know what you think in the comments. Who's someone that I've missed out? Is there any players out there that deserve to be included in this starting 11? Francis_Maxwell, Twitter, Francis M. Maxwell on Instagram, and TYT Sports, and all the good stuff in the comment section below.